Dr. Abhijit, yeah.
Uh, Good afternoon. I guess everybody is hungry as well. So we are talking about increasing the depth of our own surgeries. I remember the times when I started off with 1FR. I used to be very happy operating on 1X, and I never had to move my microscope or focus, defocus, and I was very happy. But that was when I was 27. And I soon realized the moment I started crossing 35 that I'm fine focusing more often. I started switching to 0.6 mag to get a depth of focus which I was not getting. So I started getting a perfect bokeh. So I could see what I could focus on and the rest of it was all blur. It's beautiful for a photograph but not for the surgeon. It's counterproductive. So beauty is in the detail and the depth both together for us. So if you give me such a picture, yes, it looks nice, there is a good focus point, but if I get this, it would be Sone Pe Suhaga. That's how I would want my depth to be. I would want the details to be perfectly seen. Now here you're seeing two images because I'll explain to you what it is about. But I want it to be seen like this. So meet the system. We have the existing microscope itself, and you have these tiny weeny thing which sits on it, which has two cameras, HDR cameras. It's a 3D high dynamic range camera which picks up all ranges of contrast as well as color. And it reflects it onto a 4K OLED surgical display which is nearly 65 inches in diameter. And this is the high speed image processor. And obviously you need the surgeon along with it. Now here is a case in which these two videos are being processed by the camera and you actually see it like this in the cockpit. And you can, if you're able to see the blood vessels out there in the corner as well as the cornea as clearly, and that's the depth that you would be getting out of the system. You also get something like this on the side which is like a cockpit, so you're seeing all your parameters side by side. It is the Varion also can go on the system and you can complete your surgery very well with that depth of focus and that magnification. So is there a problem with the present visualization? We've never looked at limitations of our own surgical microscope. A light exposure, if we increase during our topical surgery, the brighter the light, the more uncooperative the patient becomes. So what happens with the light and microscope magnification? Low light works very well, but in lesser magnification because that much depth of focus can still be given with that low light. But with higher magnification, we need to increase the light to get a better depth of focus. With a higher mag, surgeon also loses the depth of focus, that is the number of objects that they would see from a point of focus beyond and ahead of it. And you need more refocusing as well. And your peripheral vision starts getting blurred. So these are the innate problems of our present microscope system. And with multiple systems, many a times if you're operating through the microscope, you don't know what the parameters you're working on. You want to see the parameters at the same time. You want to see the Varion at the same time. So there are so many instruments that you need to have at least those many more eyes on you to see those. With this, it becomes easier because you get the entire cockpit onto the screen. You're watching the surgery. You can see whether the fluid is getting empty at the same time. You can see your parameters. You can just tell the looking at the screen that, oh, please change this parameters out there. It is a more immersive experience for a surgeon because the only thing that you're seeing is that. You're not able to see your peripheral vision because the screen is as close as 1.2 to 1.5 meters away from you. You get all these advantages. You get collective learning, precision, efficiency, and reduced patient risk because the entire thing is so magnified that you're able to perceive that 5 millimeter space as at least around 10 centimeter space. So you have 5 times extended depth of focus. You have 48% increased magnification. You have a 42% increased depth resolution, and you can always have the customized digital imaging onto it as and how you want it. So what you are seeing this way and you magnify it, you don't lose out because of the pixelations, or it doesn't become grainier when you're in, as we see through the microscope. We can see the detail more in depth, and that is how you would get to work on at higher magnifications. Apart from that, definitely it gives you more ergonomic support because you're not bending your neck and operating. But it also gives you the chance of using different filters while you're working uh, in different steps of your surgeries. For example, I found this particular monochrome filter very useful. I'll show you the video in which it actually improves the contrast of the. So this is my first case which I was operating on the Ingenuity. That's a heads-up surgery, and you absolutely have no learning curve out here, and you can easily adapt. It's very difficult to show it in two-dimensional. So this is again, this is a viscolar surgery. It's a coaxial irrigating forceps. So even this was easily done on the first OR day itself, and it's not difficult adapting to this system at all because the lag also is very minimal and it's not visible to the naked eye. And see, if when you're converting it to a monochrome, the contrast is much better. So many a times when you have actually disturbed the cortex, sometimes you're not seeing the rhexis margins. In these cases, these filters work out very well. In fact, many a times I forget that the filter is on and I finish my entire surgery. So this is another case in which here's a case in which I'm using a green filter for a cortical wash, and with that also you get a better contrast with the different grayscales that we are looking at. And here is a video of the same in which you can see those individual fibers also coming up very clearly, and that's how you would get that precision. And now this is actually picking up nearly 2/3 of the screen, and that gives you that clarity and the depth both. And many a times with that you can do many precise things like I have a rent out here and I'm finishing off my PCCC under the irrigation itself without disturbing the vitreous phase. So that's what the precision is about, and that will increase as we increase our precision and our depth of surgery. Thank you.
I
No headaches, nothing. So these are not the red and the green ones. These are the polarized glasses, so it doesn't give you, even after a whole day. No neck aches, no headaches.
thank you, Dr. Abhijit. Wonderful, wonderful videos. I request Dr. Sandeep Nagvekar sir to give the memento. One whole.